Hi again, Greg Bell, the beat writer for the News Tribune, covering the Seahawks with my colleague Dave Boling here in Renton, where day 4 of the Seahawks training camp, a little different. The threat of lightning forced practice, most of practice inside, and also kept fans from showing up. 2,500 or so that had reservations to watch practice. They did not get to do that or get to get autographs, but we got to watch practice. I'd say the first half hour or so was out here with individual drills, then they went inside. And Dave, the intent was to have somewhat of a decelerated tempo before the players are off tomorrow. Veterans like Doug Baldwin, Cam Chancellor, Jordan Hill, all starters, did not practice today. The team told us it was because they were resting before tomorrow's off day to give them 2 days off, although Doug Baldwin looked like he may have more than just rest as an issue, but we'll talk about that in the next couple days. It's only August 2nd. But Dave, the intent was to have decelerated tempo, but then when we got inside, it wasn't quite that way, was it?
If this feels like the middle of October out here, the weather, maybe that's fooling this team to crank up the intensity and to play with mid-season form. Richard Sherman said afterward that, if we had to play tomorrow, we could, and I get the sense they are practicing so fast and so effectively, and they're really popping, even though it isn't live tackle to the ground or anything like that. The offensive line and the defensive line are playing with such an intensity that they're not really paying much attention to the whistle. They are really getting after each other, and I think this team wants to play. I don't know how they're going to keep practicing for another 6 weeks until the season starts without knocking the living stuffing out of each other. They're really going at it. Practices are great fun to watch because of the intensity, and I don't know how they could practice faster or more effectively.
The irony of that, of course, is Pete Carroll rarely plays his starters in the preseason games, and that's the only time this Seahawks team tackles. They don't tackle in practice. They don't tackle during the regular season. Well,
they're not supposed to. Sometimes they hit pretty hard,
right,
and bodies go flying, because there are a lot of bodies still going flying, and people are taking exception to it. That's how competitive this team is. The offensive and defensive lines now are really going at it a little bit, and everybody's got a little case of anxiety or hostility going here a little bit, and it's kind of interesting to see, and I think it's an indicator this team really is dying to play. They know how good they are. This team is playing so well, practicing so well. I think they all sense that and really can't wait to get the season started.
The other thing that's contributing to that, I think, is that, and unlike in past years, the top 2 draft picks, first round and second round picks, are linemen. When in the past they were skill guys. So now you got the number 1
Excuse me, I object to that term.
Relative skill guys, more hands on the ball
quote
guys.
Unquote skill guys.
Hands on the ball guys. Jerron Reed, second round pick from Alabama, the defensive tackle, going at it again today. Justin Britt mentioning the fact that we're trying to test these young kids. Jermaine Ifedi getting tested yesterday in passing against Michael Bennett. I think that's
today again, and really showing himself, showing really well. He is performing kind of like a veteran with a big chip on his shoulder.
I don't think anyone on the Seahawks roster has made more of a name for himself than Jermaine Ifedi. I wrote about that in today's paper, at least in the first 4 days of camp. Trevone Boykin, I thought, looked as good as he has all camp, and even in the preseason or mini camps in the offseason. Really some dart throws over the middle, throwing more on time, which suggests he's a little more confident in his decision.
He knows where he's going. He's not thinking about it or aiming it. And Jake Heaps is doing pretty well too. Now, how much are these guys going to play, and how much will they ever have to play? Russell Wilson's never been hurt. I know people are knocking on wood everywhere, but he's never even missed a practice. I don't think he's broken a sweat since he's been here. But are those the people you're comfortable with playing if disaster calls with Russell Wilson? I think they have taken some big steps, although it's only 4 days. They look a lot better than I thought they would.
I still think the Seahawks are going to go try to get a veteran quarterback and try him out in the preseason. That they would much rather go in with an experienced NFL quarterback as their number 2. The Seahawks, as I mentioned, are off tomorrow. The players are. They'll be here for meetings and whatnot, but they're on the field again on Thursday, which means Dave Boling and I will be on the field on Thursday as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.